Hi, my name is Samuel Burleson. I'm 35. Um, and my available start date is whenever, as soon as possible, or within the next 2 weeks or a week. However, you want to do that. You asked several questions. If you had to describe your life as a movie title, I would say entrepreneur. And the reason for that is because I am a go getter. I don't have time to just sit around and do absolutely nothing. I currently run Slimmy57 Studios, right, .com. So I run Slimmy57studios.com. And what I do is I market. Presently, right now, I'm marketing for free other people's content, like Warner Brothers or Sony Pictures. These companies have movies that are coming out. A lot of them are not making it where they want them. However, I myself am a fan and as well trying to get published and validated with their companies. That way I can collaborate down the road. We can get into film production, things of that sort. That's what I'm trying to do. So this hobby is something that I enjoy. Second, you asked if I could have dinner or drinks with anybody, past or present, who would it be? My answer to that would be Anthony Hopkins. One, in my entire life, seeing him on screen, I've only seen him as a sociopath or a psychopath. And that's not necessarily a bad thing when you're a CEO of a company, right? We look out for the customer. We also look out for our fellow employees. These things are important. Customer service, customer relations are important. However, when you take over a business or you're managing a business, that business technically becomes yours, especially when you're in the executive position, right? So he's a role model. So I'd love to sit down and have drinks with them, get a little bit more tagged, things of that sort. That way I can perfect what I'm doing, right? So the type of work I applied for is marketing or consulting. I have done search engine optimization in the past, and these things are pretty customer oriented. And you have to walk the customer through exactly what they're doing with their website, how you're going to get the brand out there, how you're going to market through the search engines, and what processes that you're going to use. These steps are fairly, for me and the person that I work for were fairly easy that time. However, there have been some changes, which it's no big deal. All right, so the reason why I have been out of work for so long is because, well, I've been running a hobby studio, and I just haven't had the need. And this year is 2021, so this is a new start. And so when I started looking for jobs, I found that this company was a potential company to end up with a career. I am, like I said, an entrepreneur. In March, I plan to draw up my first negotiable instrument and/or bond. So it's a municipal trust bond, and I currently run S.J. Burleson Trust. Right, so I'm already in business trying to become an asset management company or a real estate company or holding company, et cetera. So companies like this are not how they say in my way. This is not a waste of my time, and this is not something that is going to stop me from being successful at this company, right? So I work all day long. I'm on call 24/7. If you cannot get a hold of me at a certain or a specific time, trust me, I'll return your call as soon as I get it because, hey, we have technical difficulties. Sometimes my phone starts acting crazy, things of that sort. All right. So another question you asked, what are things that I'm looking for to gain in this company? Number one is a good career, right? So if your career is better than my career, then I'll stick with your company. So if the work environment, everything is, hunky dory, and the compensation and salary is good, then there's no reason for me to pursue this degree or this job, this other business, except for having somebody else manage it. That means I don't have to manage it because that's not my job. My job is just to be the founder, right? So in the end, right? So two things I would gain out of this is experience. And the second is experience, because listen, there are things that come in with customer service and marketing. First and foremost, you have the business itself, the outline and the planning that it goes through to present these ideas and or creative ways to market or brand somebody's company with the public. The second thing is implementation and or operation. Both of these things are experience. You stated that you had events for like Verizon and Frontier and things of that sort. These companies are very important. Presence is number one. When you see their corporation on TV, you think, well, hey, it's another advertisement. I don't want to, it's just another, whatever. This is what I don't want them to do. When they see your advertisement, when they see your brand, I want them to go, just like when Verizon first started out, I want them to go, that's a company. That's who I want to do business with. And I like what they're selling and I want it. That's what we're trying to do, right? So on that, that's what I'm looking to gain, right? So what things set you apart from other clients? Number one, I do have experience in marketing and branding. It may seem limited because there are procedures that formal companies run. Like for instance, you have billboards, newspaper, radio. Like for instance, I run a radio station, right? It's a low power radio station, right? We're currently in the process of getting a call sign. I don't have to manage it except keep the playlist running. You see, these things get your name out there. Business cards, flyers, presentation. Presence is number one. If you can stay present with the consumer, you more than likely will end up getting their business over time. You know what I'm saying? There's a friendly appearance. Hey, my name is Sam Burleson. I work for Slimmy 57 Studios, where I'm an executive producer, and we want your business. And this is how we're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I understand that you need an advertisement done, and we want to give you an example of what we offer. And instead of charging you what customer service the other competitors charge you, we're going to half it for your first advertisement. Things of this sort. This is the leeway that I need to get clients. Like for instance, if we're working with AT&T and their budget is $300,000 a month, and they got another competitor over here that's doing the same thing, I want to be able to market with them. Okay, well, look, I'll tell you what, we want your business, and this is what you're trying to do. This is what I can get you done for $295,000 or $200,000, whatever the grace period is. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's a big jump, but the point of the matter is to earn the brand itself, Red 7, right, its own name, along with promoting other companies' names. When they look at your company, they want to say, hey, I did business with this company. This company is fantastic. They got a good price, their budget is good, and their quality is good. So that's what that's what sets me apart. I can do that. You know, I spend day in and day out. So if we have a project that is due next week, I'm constantly over it. So that means that, you know, if I have a manager that's below me or another associate that is below me, then they're taking the lead. They're the ones that take the lead, and I am the overseer. I don't like mistakes. I don't like bad form, which means when we're in the public and we're representing the company and we're representing whoever we're representing, or we're doing the contract for them, they're number one. So we need to make sure that these things are implemented. So I want their presence. I want team uniforms. You know, whether they have to have badges with IDs on them that state the same company name, whether it just says volunteer on the bottom of it or service member, it doesn't matter. Presence is key. So in the first 5 seconds, according to psychology, you know, you get a first impression of somebody. You know whether or not you're going to do business with them. You know whether or not they are a good person or a bad person, somebody that you want to, you know, you might want to go out to drinks, or somebody that you might not want to go out to drinks, right? So these things are what set me apart, right? So I am an entrepreneur, number one. Number two, I am reliable, right? So number three, I can get the job done, especially if I know what I'm doing. So if I see it one time being done and this is how you want it done, then that's how it's going to be done. Unless you have other ways, or you're going to allow me to adapt. Because the way it sounds like this is a growing company. You said you're looking for apparently another manager or CEO within the next 5 to 7 months is what I was looking at. You said 6 to 9 months. And I'm looking at 5 to 7 months, right? So you're trying to expand your offices and double your tenure. So that means you're trying to double your presence, double your exposure, and double your revenue. That's what I'm looking at, right? So far as the numbers, you stated that, well, Mondays are my favorite day. So if I have a bad Monday and it's 14.7% of my week already gone, that's crazy because, well, you know, we all have bad days and we don't. I love to work. So far as the 14.7%, I don't think that's going to happen with me. It might be more like 2%, just waking up, getting a cup of coffee, getting energized, you know, like a Monster Energy drink. See, right here, right? Just to get the job done. The first time we start working with a customer, I start feeling a whole lot better because once these little goals start being done, it's like everything just kind of goes smoothly after that, you know? So these are the things that set me apart from another client. I am going to get the job done one way or another. And even if you don't hire me or you don't feel that I'm a good candidate, I will end up being successful over time, either by myself or with another company, right? I work good as in a team. So this is what I was looking at this job. It's a marketing consulting firm or services, like customer service. So we work as a team for whatever client that we have, whether it be, you know, the Cowboys in Dallas, or whether it be UT down in Austin. These people are a team member, even though they are technically the team leader being the client. You understand? So that's what sets me apart. So can I coach, inspire, and mentor somebody else? Well, did I inspire you? Because I know what you're doing to an extent, you're just 3 steps ahead of me, right? So why not just go ahead and get in where there's an availability and see over time whether this job is a good fit for the long haul. So far as salary and pay range is concerned, I need one that is fairly flexible, right? I'm trying to earn $50,000 to $67,000 a year, right? Now, that's that's tentative, So I mean, right now I'm looking at $21, $22 an hour. So obviously that doesn't match that. However, if this company were to hire me full time as executive officer, then I'm looking at between $60,000 to $70,000 compensation yearly. I feel that that's reasonable because I'm going to be on call all day, at least for the first 2, maybe 3 years, and then we'll go from there because my time is valuable. I can give you all kinds of options to brand your company, to market it. If you're a brand new company or if you're already established, especially one that already has a TV presence. The number one commercials that I see presently today that make an impact on people's lives is State Farm, right? It used to be Geico or it used to be Progressive Insurance. They're still kind of there, but State Farm's got them right now. You know what I'm saying? They are the top of the pack. So these things are important. So if I can't get into your life, if I can't make you laugh, if I can't touch you in some kind of way through that screen right here, then I'm not going to be able to market to you. I just can't do it. I mean, you're not going to hear me. I mean, you just say, well, that's just, okay, what are we doing again? And, I don't need that, especially when we're trying to get to the customer's attention. So presentation, right? Branding, right? So I need their name, clear, bold print, preferably, something that's not cursive. They got to be able to read it on a billboard 3 miles away when they're coming down the highway. It needs to be clear and concise. I don't want to hear mottos like, make it work here. That's a bad slogan. If you say we make things happen here, it's a whole lot better than, make it happen here. These things help self-promote, and the billboard to help self-promote or whatever, so the media billboard stands, the little 6-foot stands that are digital, these things are important too. People are impressed by technology. They may not be able to afford it, but they're able to, they're impressed by it. They look at it. And that's the key. So if I can catch you for 3 seconds when you look at that billboard, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And whether you go to the house later on or whether you're thinking about it a week down the road, I got you. You want to say, hey man, I saw that badass billboard down there, and it had a really, really, really good, it had like a Monster commercial on it or whatever it had, so it's really cool, So event planning, things of this sort, this is where I want more experience in. I want to bring names into Tarrant County or Fort Worth where I stay at. And I'm 35. So I've got the best years ahead of me for the next 10, 15 years. I could be 50 years old. I probably won't have gray hair, and I look like I'm in my 20s. So anyway, those were the questions that I got. So as you can see, mentoring and inspiring, I love to ask you, why are you doing that? Because if you're doing it for a good reason, I want to do it. I want to learn after you. Every steps that you take and things of that sort, if they intrigue me, I might ask you, hey, I used to work at Subway one time, and this employee of mine would prep the bread a certain way. So they would take the box out the freezer and they would set it on the prep table, and they would leave it there instead of go ahead and unwrapping the bread that's in the box and then setting them on the trays so that they could thaw, right? So I asked them why they did that. They said because it's more sanitary leaving them in the box until they're ready to mess with them. I didn't have much to say to that because they're in plastic wrapping, they're frozen. The key is they have to be baked and ready, to go by 9 o'clock in the morning. So, like, well, can you get, in my head, I'm thinking, can you get this done by 9 o'clock? Because it still takes, 15 minutes to bake the bread, and they have to thaw for at least 30 minutes. And we're sitting at 7 o'clock. We still have prep in the back, and it has to get done. So I'm not going to, directly say, hey man, I don't want this done this way. I'm going to say, well, okay, we'll try it one time. And if it's not going to work, then, we got to modify the policy or modify your operation so that we can get the job done, because, good employees are hard to find. So that's just one example. So like if we're on the job and we have a client and we're going down through there and we're talking about their products and services they offer to the consumer, and there's another employee that's doing it a certain way, or or seems to do it in an unusual manner or something that's not normal for me, I might ask him aside, outside the client's presence, hey, um, so you were talking to the customer about, innovative marketing. Why did you take that approach? And they hopefully they'll give me some kind of example. And if not, if they say, well, I don't want to talk about it, well, okay, that's cool. I just thought it was cool, I seen you do it, and I was like, well, it works. So I want to know what you do, so I can do what you do. That way we can, we can both better ourselves. So anyway, hopefully you find me as a good candidate. Uh, I stay in the Tarrant County area presently, and I film all the time. So if we end up getting professional, and I get like a first check, and then this is what we're going to do, I don't mind partnering with this company to make TV advertisements to get you on stage, to get you your own presence on TV. Right now, the marketing campaign that I offer is $12,000 for a quarter, right? So I have to third party or sub it out to another company to put you on TV, and it's district wide. So that means for 12,000 for 3 months, we get you on the television. So on local channels or cable channels, that's where you're going to be at. That's what I do. So branding and marketing is key, right? So appearance, presence, name tags, mottos, everything, it needs to promote the brand. The brand is the key. The logo, the jingle, all these things are important. I need you to remember. I need you to understand. I need you to remember. That way, when you hear the NBC jingle or you hear the CBS, you know it. So even when they're not even there and your machines beep a certain way, I want you to remember the brand. That's what I want to do for you.